Girl chat. Well, not even girl chat. Just let's chat for a second. I swear to God, perspective is really everything. Because it's so crazy how the way you're seeing yourself is not the way other people see you. And then the way you're seeing your own life is very different from how other people are seeing your life. You might just be thinking, oh, I'm just doing something regular. Other people are like, wow, she's so inspiring. Oh, wow. It's so crazy, which is why you should always look at yourself from a good light. Don't be telling yourself, oh, I can't do that. Oh, that's cringy. Bitch, do it. And it's not cringy. You get what I'm saying? Even this YouTube thing that I say I want to do, I've been saying I want to do YouTube, but I just never felt like, oh, I could fully do it. But now, honestly, I'm just going to post. Whether I get views or not, I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I'm doing what I can. Because what's the alternative to never do what you want to do because of fear? Oh my God. Wait, this just reminds me of running, right? Oh, let me tell you something. Sometimes, wow, I'm supposed to be running this month, right? I said I'm going to start running and doing ADF. But the reason I haven't done that is because, well, I have been running. But sometimes the reason I don't run is because I'm literally scared of being tired during the run. Or I'm scared of not being able to complete the run or not be able to do the run. It doesn't even make sense. Even with the fasting, sometimes I'm scared that I'm going to be hungry, which is why I don't even fast. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna try. Wow, you guys, I just watched a video where a guy was talking about self-sabotage.
A lot of people don't understand self-sabotage is not the fear of failure. It's the fear of being disappointed while fully invested, because you don't ghost your progress because you don't believe in yourself. That's not what's going on. You ghosted because last time you believed, you watched the ceiling collapse halfway through your rebuild. And now you don't risk foundation. You just decorate the rubble. Why do I keep ruining it? I can just speak to that. You don't. You're just triggering the fire alarm before the fire can find you. You fear hope. Your nervous system remembers how bright it felt to believe, how hard it felt when that belief turned cold, and how stupid you felt standing there with effort in both hands and nothing to show for it. So now it says, let's just not get caught off guard again. Let's fail on our own terms. Let's end it before we hope. But that's not dysfunction. That's trauma putting its shoes on early and walking you out of your own life before it disappoints you. You don't fear failure. You fear the moment after you let yourself care. You fear getting good at something and watching it still leave. You fear sitting in a win that never comes. So instead, you vanish the second it matters. You downplay every chance. You press pause so hard the remote cracks because you stop just in time. Because if you stop just in time, I want you to stay with me on this. If you stop just in time, you don't have to feel what it's like to give everything and still not be chosen. That's all it is. Self-sabotage is just your body saying, last time we hope it killed us. Last time we hoped it killed us. You got abandoned mid-effort, gaslit mid-dream, and laughed at mid-reach. I just want you to see what happened. You skipping the party, you turning down the offer, really because hope was once a loaded weapon pointed in your mouth, and you flinched every time you tried to speak during existence because they threatened to harm you with it. You don't stop because you don't want it. You didn't stop because you don't want it. You stopped because your body associated emotion with betrayal. I just want to tell you what happened. When you reached out, they just disappeared. When you showed up, they laughed. When you built something, someone kicked it over and called that shit character development. So now your nervous system's still talking. What if we just never start again? I'm just telling you what it's saying to you. You want to shake your Etch-a-Sketch? You're going to have to stop looking at yourself like you're the antagonist in this story. You don't heal self-sabotage by overpowering it. That's what I'm getting at. You heal it by listening to the version of you that created it. That never again version, it didn't just infiltrate your soul. They weren't sabotaging you. They were protecting you the only way they knew how. And it's not about letting that part of yourself go. It's just about finally letting it use the time machine. Because hope isn't a trap in the present. It's just your memory. It's full of liars, and the call's coming from inside the house this time. Woo-hoo! I'm telling you. Your family handed you words that they couldn't mean, right? That they couldn't mean, like love, dreams, hope, carelessly, not even knowing you pack your bags with them. So unpack your bags. Because the tools you brought to protect yourself from their deception are the ones now breeding self-hatred in your own home.
And it's like, wait, so I'm actually scared to hope that I can complete this run. I'm actually scared to hope that I can complete this fast. I'm scared that I'm going to try my best to go running, right? And then I'm going to end up not being able to finish the run and look stupid. Or I'm going to end up not being able to fast the whole day I'm supposed to fast. And then the negative self-talk is going to be telling me how crazy I look, saying I'm going to fast and then not being able to do it. Wait, because hold on. So imagine you want to be like a YouTuber, right? Sometimes it's not even that somebody else told you that you can't do it, it's that you've told yourself that you can't do it. So now when you try to do it and you post and nobody sees it because you just started, then you be telling yourself how stupid you look for posting it. So then the next time you don't want to post anymore, and then you self-sabotage before you even get to the point where people can see it, because you already told yourself that you look dumb if nobody sees it. So then because you're scared to look dumb because nobody sees it, you never post it, or you never even record. And so when you just think of something to record, you're just like, girl, that's dumb. And you just downplay the whole thing. So now you never tell anybody, oh, I'm trying to be a content creator. So nobody watches it because they don't know that you even want to, they don't even know that you post. Wow, I just gagged myself. What the fuck? Wait, so this whole time, I haven't told anybody that I'm even doing this channel, right? And it's because somewhere deep in my heart, I already told myself that I look dumb for trying. So even though I want to do stuff, because I feel like I'm gonna look stupid if nobody sees it, I don't tell anybody. So I don't look stupid if I don't get any views. But because I don't tell anybody, I'm not getting any views. So I'm basically self-sabotaging because of some shit I made up in my mind. Because nobody in real life has ever actually told me that I look stupid doing a YouTube channel. Matter of fact, when I do tell people that I want a YouTube channel, their reaction is usually, oh, I can see you doing that. Or send me your account information so I can see it when you post it. I've just never actually told anybody that I was doing it. My God. So this whole time, I could have been rich. I could have been doing hella shit. But I never told anybody. Which is why all these businesses I've thought about, I've never actually done any of them. Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow. I actually just shocked my own self. Because so what if you fail? So what if you look cringe? At least you did it. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let's go back to the running, right? Because what if you wanted to run a mile, but you couldn't, you only ran half a mile? That's half a mile you didn't run before. And even if all you can do is half a mile and you run half a mile only once a week, that's still 52 half miles that you didn't run the previous year in a year. So that's 26 miles that you've run that year, which you didn't run the previous year. But then there is no way you're running half a mile every week and you don't like eventually increase it to a full mile or half a mile multiple days a week, because then your body will calm down and then you'll be able to see, oh, it's not even that hard. Wow. So sometimes well, maybe not the only way, but sometimes the way to calm your body down, to calm your nervous system down so that you can actually do the thing you want to do is by doing it, even though you're only doing it in small amounts. And even though it doesn't really make sense, even though you're making mistakes, because of course, when you first start running, it's like, girl, you don't know the proper form. Maybe you don't have the proper shoes or the proper clothes. Maybe you don't have the right bra and then them titties is just everywhere. Wow. But then you can learn as you go. Oh my goodness. This whole time I've been failing myself by not trying. So the failure is not in looking crazy. The failure is not in not succeeding. But the failure is in failing to try. The failure is not in failing to try. Wow. And failing to try boldly. Wow. Because think about it too, right? I used to take dancing classes, and one of the reasons I haven't gone back is because I just felt like I was such a terrible dancer, which is true because it took me forever to pick up the dances. But guess what? I was able to make it into a team, even with not being that great of a dancer. And guess what? If I had kept up with it by now, I would be a way better dancer. Damn, I gotta go back to my dancing classes. Damn, y'all, this is so crazy. Wow, wow. Think big, y'all. Think big. In this country, they want to put us in a box. They don't want us to think like this out the box. They want us to have a chained mindset, to have a prison mindset. That's what this slavery to consumerism is about. They want you in a cage. It don't matter to them whether it's a gilded cage, a raggedy cage, a physical cage, a mental cage. As long as you're in a cage, they're good. Wow, because then you can't go crazy and fly like a bird. Wow, you really have to break out of the mold. Wow. Wait, that's y'all. The real conspiracy is they want to keep you stuck in the cycle they've created for you through this consumerism, capitalism, so that you ever feel free. So you can constantly feel stressed and therefore bound. Because when you're stressed, baby, you're just trying to make it to the next day. You don't have the energy to think about the future. Wow. No wonder I knew. You know what? I knew I had to be jobless for a reason. Because when you're jobless, you can imagine. Wow. You have time. Especially when you're jobless and you take away the stress of being unemployed. When you take away the stress of being unemployed, my goodness, then you can have some time to think, to reason with yourself, to come to some conclusions. I rest my case. I will be back. Let me think some more. Think big, guys. And also tell me what you think about this outro. I don't know. Is she gonna go crazy? I think I'm gonna go crazy. That might be the only way to survive this world. Not even to survive, to thrive, because none of us survive. No matter what you do, if you waste your life, we all end up in the same place, child. Dead and gone. It don't matter. So you might as well try to be happy. Try to do what you want. To establish the life you want for yourself. You might as well try. Because what do you have to lose? At the end of the day, we all ending up gone, dead. What do you have to lose for real? Wow. Stay cringe, think big. I'll see y'all later.
I was just watching Game of Thrones. They just casually dropped one of the hardest lines in cinematic history. Like, Rhaenyra was like, you don't desire to be free. Instead, you'd rather focus on building windows in the walls of your prison cell. What? Everybody in the writing room needs a raise. Because I really do feel like in real life, most people are trapped in this, like, almost prison of public perception, right? Like, where it's like, they're not worried about what their life actually feels like. They're worried about what their life looks like. And it's created a society where people are conditioned to, like, sacrifice their hopes, dreams, and ambitions at, like, the altar of public perception. I got a homie that's secretly really into birdwatching, right? So I had seen this birdwatching competition. Well, like, a prize pool, like, $10,000. All you got to do is hop on IG, post a bunch of pics in a carousel or whatever, and then, like, tag them, and they pick their winner or whatever it is. So I told him to enter. He like, why would I do that? Post it on my page so people can think I'm some type of bird watching ass nigga. You is a bird watching ass. And it almost feels like we're in this era of like artists that don't make art, right? Creators that don't create anything, like musicians that don't put out their music. The smartest, most creative, most talented people you know are not the ones putting things out there into the world. You know what I'm saying? And within this prison of public perception, the greatest shame of all is to be perceived trying, right? Because caring is cringe, right? Like passion is shameful unless it's followed up directly with victory, right? So it's almost like to try and fail is far more shameful than to just never try at all. So we've almost seen like cynicism and hopelessness are seen as signs of intelligence. And that's exactly why you be hearing people say things like, oh, I'd rather cry on a Benz than cry on a bus. Why is crying the only non-negotiable in this scenario? Why is happiness not an option in any of these scenarios, you know? And I think a big part of it is most of us are never fully taught to see our lives as something we independently control. It's something that you like follow a life plan, right? And that's a big part of why people come to me, oh yeah, you're younger turn now, but eventually, you got to get a wife and kids, you got to live for them. No, I don't. Like I can just not have kids and spend all that money on like friends, family, flights, and my fragrance collection. I'm a creative spender. You can literally see like their brain matter leaking out their ears when you say things like that. Well, then who's gonna take care of you when you get old? A licensed clinical professional. I don't have to like breed my labor force. It's not the 1800s. I'm just passionate about this topic because it's like, bro, at the end of the day, nobody makes it out of life alive. You know what I'm saying? The person who makes all the right decisions and the person who makes all the wrong decisions both end up in the same place. Like at any given time, you can change locations, change religions, change relationships, right? You can just break out of the box, bro. Like, oh, well, I'm too poor. You're poor in California. You could be poor in Mexico. Move. Like, if you want to, I mean, if that's what's on your heart. Like, don't let me. But like, I really don't think people realize how infinite the world becomes when you stop caring about like the court of public opinion and instead prioritize your own purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you can post a half-eaten sandwich on Instagram. What? You already have a surplus of people that don't want to try too hard, do too much, come off like they begging. I will absolutely beg for the life that I desire, right? You go on my Instagram story right now. I'm on there asking for, hey, somebody put me in contact with some Cutwater reps. Yeah, I want a brand partnership with them boys for my next event in a couple weeks. I don't care if I have to send 100 emails. Like, bro, I don't fear trying. I fear living a life where you never even attempt, bro. Like being in a comfortable prison cell, right? Where when the whole time there were no locks, all the guards only existed in your own mind.